inspiration for Kiss My Ex came about about 4 years ago, when I was in the process of trying to come up with a project or a short film or a movie that I wanted to do next. And I initially wanted to make a more ambitious project that entailed, well, it was a more complex, or I don't know if you would call it complex, but I'll call it a little more of an ambitious project. And the initial idea I had was about a woman who had lost her husband and her daughter or son in a car accident because a drunk man had been drunk driving, and consequently he had he accidentally killed this woman's husband and child, and I initially wanted to make something. I wanted to make a revenge movie where the perpetrator had been in custody, but he had been released, and upon his release, the woman wanted to avenge her family, or she wanted to seek revenge on the one that killed her family in this car accident, and when I initially set out to do that, I just wanted to make a dramatic revenge story that appealed to me in a sense. And I was drawn to my inspirations from horror movies and thrillers and action horror movies, like the subgenre of these elements in movies, these genres, and then I wanted to upon this man's release who had killed her family, I wanted to I wanted her to follow the man from his apartment. Well, first of all, I wanted the woman to follow the man from his apartment, which I'm losing train of thought here, but she was going to follow the man from his apartment to his house on the country, and she was going to wait. She was going to wait in her car outside his apartment building, and then upon his coming down to his vehicle, to his car, she was going to follow him while he was driving to his next destination, which was the house in the country. And there she would eventually complete her action of killing this man, of getting her revenge on this man. But that project was a little bit too ambitious for me. And one of my former teachers from film school, he said, you could simplify this by making, is there anyone, he kind of made it a little sarcastic. It made a little he's made it sound a little funny instead. Is there someone who wanted? He asked me if there was someone if I could imagine, or if I in my fantasy, and not that I would do something like that in real life, but if there was someone that I could imagine killing with, let's say, an axe, which I wanted this woman from my initial idea to kill this man with an axe. I wanted to, and I said, and my former teacher, he asked me, is there anyone that that irritates you, whom you could imagine killing with an axe? And I said, yes, there is one. I'm not going to mention his name, but he's the one I'm talking about is a good friend of mine, but at the same time, he can be a little irritating at some points with his complaints about computers or different things. And he said, well, do something about that. Do something about someone who is always complaining. And there is someone who has to put up with this all the time and listen to this. And, wanting to... I just thought to myself, well, I could just imagine writing a script based on someone who is constantly complaining, and then there is another character who has to listen to this, and that character is kind of a portrayal of me having to listen to all this nonsense of someone else complaining all the time or whining all the time. And I thought to myself, well, I just thought, all right, I'll just have two characters sit in a vehicle, and one in the passenger seat is going to complain all the time, and the one that's driving has to put up with all this nonsense all the time. And on their journey to wherever they're going, I didn't include that because I didn't deem it necessary to include where they were going. I just wanted a scene or an environment where someone was where two people were on their way to somewhere, and on their way, one would complain one would whine in the vehicle, and then the other one driving would have to listen to this, and then everything would build up in his mind. What he really would want to do with this whining man next to him. So, even though I don't think the message come across very well in the short film, the essence or the message I want to convey in this short film is that if you want to, don't let people drain your energy, basically. I'm very happy with how it came out. And if people like it, then great, and if people don't, that's all right. I still learned something from it, and for the future, I'm very optimistic about the future. I'm looking forward to whatever idea or whatever project I want to embark on next, and hopefully, thanks to the experience from this project and all the other previous projects that I've embarked on, hopefully the next project will come out even better will come out way better than before.